Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another episode of Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we cross-examined Vera Misham, and... yikes, she fell down on the stand. I hope she's not dead. I really hope she's not dead. I hope that this isn't like a Terry Falls kind of situation. But, yeah, I'm really worried about her. But, yeah, we're just gonna see where this takes us next. Yeah, let's go. 7 years ago. All right. Showdown time. Oh, hello. We know this case. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I've found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why, yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met. 7 years ago. Well, this is gonna hurt. I know that much. Whoa! Hey! Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Phew, okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Good morning, Mr. Enigmar. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
Oh, hi! Oh, morning, Daddy!
I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
I'm fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me, after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks! My first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck's she talking about?
Oh boy!
Huh? Me? Look what he started.
Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later. Oh, we have evidence. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today's a new guy, I hear. Ah, an easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But, allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Trucy! Yep, you bet, Daddy!
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Enigmar, known to the world as Zach Gramarye, a wildly popular magician, star of True Gramarye. His mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic until he was shot dead, and Zach Gramarye is the suspect. April 19th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 7. Hello? Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigma. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Clavier with short hair. Let's go. Is the prosecution ready? I was just thinking. Is this what all the fuss is about? A bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime? One of the worst. Is this a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts? A Gaviner's concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Who were you again? Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, yeah? Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's... I figure my bro's more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin. Lead singer from the mega hit band The Gaviners. You're out of your league, Rock Boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, Rock Boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock action, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up. Herr Tony, right? Okay, so I'm right that he does have a sort of European accent. I haven't been wrong this whole time. We're fine. Detective Gumshoe, hit it! Hey, a long time no see. I missed you, Gumshoe. Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see. Hey, you! Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see? What, you normally lack confidence in your testimony? Herr Detective, this is my stage. Candy Antics. Huh? All this hey youing and such. I could care less about your history together. Ugh. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand. It happened 6 days back in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam! Lights out. Them's the facts. Not so long ago, the victim Magnifique Grammary was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifique to one of my generation and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grammary has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifique's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A malignant tumor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah, a malignant tumor, perhaps? In other words, he had liver cancer. He only has 3 months to live, in fact. The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin when he was shot with a pistol. The syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir! Actually, the victim kinda ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting? Those are the facts. I have the letter here in question. Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder? I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter. Oh, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, Herr Attorney. Well, was there some reason? As it turns out, there was. Every night for half an hour, starting at 11 o'clock, the victim, Matthew Gremery, was given an IV. An IV? There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed. At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night, without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption, during his IV. Very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would. What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead, after all, just as he had commanded. It could be a setup, but let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change. Thanks, pal. Fine. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking. You failed to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective. First, we got this letter. It says, shoot, in the forehead, loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. You failed to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, Detective. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of gunpowder residue that shows that it had been fired recently. Well, Mr. Wright, as far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar. Oh. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes. Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead. Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. What, and you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes. The defendant might have fired just like he was ordered. But he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? The clown doll? Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead too. Oh! There's a hole in its forehead! Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. Ha! And I suppose you have a reason as to why he shoots the clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ugh. Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot, square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. The clown square doll in the forehead. The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter. I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered, but the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life. The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get. Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim? Hey, not a bad summary, pal. Let me check. Hold on. Do we not have the pistol? Screw you, man. More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? I don't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. His testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. Oh! You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo? That's the one! It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words. You bet we did! Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Balance quick draw shoot 'em? Huh? What's that? One of the defendant's specialties. Zack and Balance stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on the stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it. Many boys and girls joins the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. Troop Gramery stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since. The court would like to see the pistol in question. You got it, sir. Here she is. Well, this truly is a blast from the past. It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets. It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty, and it shows traces of having been fired recently. So, were there any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that the lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own. Oh-ho! Intriguing point, well made. Whoa, not well made, not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this as evidence. My grandchild will get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony. Oh. The trickiest case is often seen the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not. The murder weapon? How? It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Ah! If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. Yeah! That's not a contradiction. Not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. Ugh. I had the feelings this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't even proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and startling record sales. An utter lack of humility. Oh, what's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared. Like I said, Herr Detective was just a warm-up act. Ugh. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gramery who shot the victim in the forehead. Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess. This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Court is adjourned. Alright, so we are actually gonna keep going. I know, I would usually stop here, but I started doing this in Trials and Tribulations, and I couldn't do it for the rest of Apollo Justice, because for some reason everything just takes longer in this game. But here we are. We're doing this again. We're just gonna continue going in through the saves. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know? I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened? Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy. Speaking of which, where is she? You have seen the problem yourself. The letter. The one shot in the forehead. One, right? Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I cannot deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death. Why not? This is something I will not say for now. For now, at least. What's this for now business? I have done many things in my life. Some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves. We? You wanted to know about the night of the incident? Finally! This guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And I found there, upon his bedside table, 2 pistols. 2? Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valent. Oh, for the Zack and Valent's quick draw thing? My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first. So there were other requests you couldn't refuse before? To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I brought my pain upon Trucy. Was Magnifi coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grammar, Jesus Christ. I took the pistol and I had fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Rifling marks. Yes, well, and that is all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me? You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks. Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. What? Magnifi Grammary? The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so. What did you talk about? Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. Zach Gramery. He seems pretty steadfast to me. Or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I am in your hands. Right, let's get back in there. April 19th, 11:37 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 7. Court is now back in session. During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head. Well, this is news. And the rifling marks? There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, so they did find the weapon type that matches the murder weapon. Well, that's not very conclusive, is it? Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of Troop Gramery's famous duo, Zach and Valent. Valent Gramery. So, we get to meet the great Magnifie's other disciple. Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation? Val Gramery, magician. Then you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt. Fate, a grand illusion filled with traps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock that night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes! Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness receives this. That looks very familiar. Wait. That's the same letter Zach Gramery received. Yes! Or perhaps I should say, ta-da! Order, order, order! And what does it say? Surely not the same thing. Perhaps you should see for yourself. Why, it's practically the same! The court accepts this into evidence. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your Troop Gramery up to? By which you mean? I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion, Herr Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this man has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not gonna tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gramery, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise to singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time. As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up. That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifie requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police. So you were the one who reported the crime. Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in court, but if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gramery, is guilty. And if it wasn't Zach Gramery, then the killer was you, Valent. And no disappearing out will get you out of that. The night I visited the hospital at the time I never requested. There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a little more, see what I can turn up. Mr. Valent, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely... How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what, precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zach and Valent quick draw shooting, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. What did Zach tell me back in the lobby? Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and I found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam. Alakazing? Alakaboom. Is the number of pistols really so important? The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown. Let's see. According to the defendant, Zach Gramery, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2? One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Valent has told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story. Mr. Valent, recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from his gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Mr. Valent, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Order! Well, this is all rather sudden. What have I done? Prosecutor Gavin, I also court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proves the type of guns that fired them. But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake I made in my youth? That was just this morning. I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now. Valent Gramery? Yes, Your Honor? You were presented to this court as a decisive witness. but you've proven to me more divisive than decisive. You'll see in time. The testimony so far has been merely a review of the facts. The proof comes next. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? When Mr. Valent entered the hospital rooms, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove. Held rights? The real fight is about to begin. Bring it. Very well. The witness will not testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Alright, I think that's actually where we're going to stop for today. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet! Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload! Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos! Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!